Hello, hello, hello. How's it going, Bro Conky? How are you doing? You got my message, right? I sent out your stuff with a tracking number, so at least you can track it this time. I didn't get your email about with the pictures of the product. I'm glad that you got it. I'm worried about what kind of shape it came in, since you said you had to take photos of it. Hey, Surge Hunter, how's it going? All right, the man of the hour is here. The man of the hour is here. Well, maybe it's more than an hour, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Again, we're going to do the same thing that Surge Hunter asked last time, which is we're going to basically just make sure that we do a deep dive of the art on the packs here. So it will be a bit of a longer stream. Um, we are only doing 5 packs. Surge Hunter has signed up for the tier at Moz, where basically it's $100 worth of packs, and yes, there's only 5 packs. That is because some of these packs are, well over the $30 value mark themselves. Um, Specifically, this one in the middle. Um, it's almost like this is basically like a $35, $40 pack. So I try to like get packs that are like over $10. Like, I like to get something that's like in like the $10 to $15 range so that we can get a bunch. But then I like to get like one big ticket pack. Do you know what I mean? Like I like to get one pack that's like, $30, and then pick a couple others that are like in the $20 range, so that we can get to the 100. And then I pick one that's like, I think it's, what is it? So like a mystery booster, right? $10, right? So that's like one of the cheaper packs here, right? Then we've got Onslaught, right? Then we've got Corset 2013. This was, I think, another like one of like the $10 packs. So you get your money's worth, right? Right? Scourge. Well, no, like we're gonna pull you a fetch. We're gonna pull you a Scalding Tarn, and that'll cover your mana, or that'll cover your cost right there, right? That's basically like just dollar value, right? So the other thing is I picked sets that have older borders because Search Hunter mentions that he kind of likes older stuff. Yeah, but then that way you can just sell it, and then you've made your money back. So that's how that works, right? You don't want like, oh, I guess like you want a card that you don't have to then spend more money on. Is that what you're looking for? You want the crypt out of here. But Mo, since this is a tier for Mo's store, he's super appreciative that I have tiers on my Patreon that essentially drive business to him. He's super thankful for that, and so people who sign up to his tiers on my Patreon, he's kicking in some extras, as you may have noticed. So Danny Sixstring got a promo token with his stuff, with his $10 pack this week. Mo has sent some things along for Surge Hunter, so let me just get them out of here, and I will show you what Surge Hunter is walking away with in addition to his packs. So, we've got a promo Dragon Fodder. Hey Eric, how's it going? There it is. Promo Dragon Fodder. Very cool. It's like one of the alt art. I think this was from one of like was this from one of like the Fate Reforged uh, promo pack things or something like that? They did a bunch of like alternate art for cards, and that's what this is. So it's an alternate art Dragon Fodder. We've got a sweet foil Rebecca Gay Mountain. There you go. Very cool. I don't know if you can't really see the foiliness with the sleeve on, so let me just pull it out there and you can see. Look at that foil. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. You like some hairy goblins? Well, good. You've got some hairy goblins. Probably gonna go into your Krenko deck. Nice. And this isn't. So Mo tried to find you promos and stuff that are like Goblin related. This isn't really that, but it's still a sweet. It's still a sweet promo card, and it's an Ant Queen. Look at that gorgeous foiling from M10, and it's actually date stamped. I don't know if you can see that. July 2009. So this is one of like the promos from I guess like pre-release or something like that. I guess I don't really know. They were date stamping things other than pre-release cards back in this era. So like this might have just been like a buy a box promo that was date stamped, right? So yeah, this is a card you don't own. Sweet, that's awesome. Insect Tribal coming on. Yeah. And Ant Queen's a great card. Like a 5/5 for 5 is already very good. And then pay 2 mana and make a 1/1 insect is very good. So there you go. A nice little promo Ant Queen for you. So those are coming your way, Search Hunter, with your packs here. Just put them off to the side. I guess, do you want them on camera? I guess I can leave them here, right? So that people can see them. There we go. That's not a bad little spot for them, although they are kind of getting a lot of glare from over here. Where is that glare coming from? Are you coming from this light? You are coming from that light. My goodness. Alright, well fine. I'll put you over here then. There. Now they're on screen, but they're not getting glare. Whatever. Ant Queen can see your wallet get burned from the corner. You are totally welcome, Search Hunter. It's our pleasure. Now, Mo also asked me to give him a heads up for these streams so that he could tune in and hang out. My apologies, Mo, but I sort of like forgot to mention it to you before today that it was happening at 10 a.m. And I also was waiting on confirmation from Search Hunter, and when I got it from him last night, I sort of forgot to tell you yesterday, and then I take onus here. I'm supposed to mention it. Anyway, I messaged him about half an hour ago, and he said he was just making breakfast, so he'll probably tune in at some point while we're going through all these packs. So, Search Hunter, do you have a preference on which packs we do first? Hey, Moholnik, how's it going? Yeah, this time works out pretty well for you guys over in Europe, right? So I'm glad that you guys can catch one of these live, right? Normally I stream at night my time, so it's very early morning for you guys, right? I'm doing all right, Moholnik. I'm doing all right. Hey, Real Viking King, how's it going, man? A long time no see. I hope you're doing well. And how are you, Moholnik? You're doing good, I hope. Mana Burn, good morning. How are things in Maple Syrup Land? Mystery Booster, M13, Onslaught, Scourge, Zendikar. Okay. Alright. You're okay? That's good to hear. How are your cats? How are your cats? Because that's the important thing. Cats are what life's all about. It never sent. It did this time. Oh, okay. So, for those of you curious what Bro Conky's talking about, did it actually come in? There it is. Oh, man. Oh, Jesus. What happened? Holy moly. What the heck? What the heck? Wow. Okay. Okay. How badly are the cards damaged? Like, is it a severe amount of damage, or is it like they're like bent on corners a little bit? Holy moly. Jeez. Your cats are great. Awesome. Scourge is probably your favorite set. Favorite of these sets, but Zendikar has the pulls. Well, so Zendikar I picked because not only does it have fetches, but it also has a number of like pretty decent goblins. Like it has the Warren Instigator, and I picked Core 2013, I think it was. Is it 2013 that has it? The pile driver. I think it's the pile driver, the goblin pile driver. Very good goblin as well. Hey MTG Herman, how's it going? I don't have any pets myself. Our cat, unfortunately, passed away, like literally the week before lockdown started. So it's been very difficult for me and Charla because, you know, we had this cat that was always around, and then, you know, I was always working and stuff and all that kind of things, and then we went into lockdown and I'm home every day, but the cat's not here, so it's kind of like this weird gap. You know what I mean? It's very tough. Yeah. Oh, the Ajani art is very nostalgic. Good. That's awesome. Yeah, it's really long time, bro Conky. Are you okay if I show off the pictures? Because I want to show everybody else. Are you cool if I show them off on stream? And Surge Hunter, I apologize for this, but I want to show you guys. So, Bro Conky messaged me and was like, I didn't get my package, my March grab bag, and I was like, okay, that's weird. Like, why didn't you get it? Maybe I can just do. Can I just? Is it easier for me to just put them in? Yeah, probably. Let me just do this. Okay, pictures. Folder. Package. I want to show you guys this because this is like, obviously it's fallen off the, like, of some sort of 1, 2, save image as 1. It's obviously fallen off of like the conveyor or a cart or something while in transit, and it looks like it's been run over. Actually, is what it looks like. 4. Okay. Yeah, the address isn't on here. He had it covered, so we're good. Okay, yeah, perfect. Yeah, I can see the image. Like, I'm not going to show the image. If it had the address and stuff, I wouldn't put it on screen. But let me just add a image here. Package. Let's browse this. Bear with me a moment. Doing technical changes on the fly is easy, but not as easy as it should be because I have my camera in the way of my computer, so it's hard to see everything. This one, pictures, package. This one. Open? There. Okay. Oh, jeez. Ah, jeez. Okay, transform. Fit to screen. So this is how Bro Conky's grab bag arrived to him. As you can see, it is quite damaged. Here's the next photo. You can see it's pretty... Yeah, it really looks like something ran over it, is what it looks like. So I'm just going to show you all the photos here. So, like, here's the... You can see it even tore the inner bag that had the cards. Right? The bag is torn on the one end, which is crazy. Oh, here, is it there? Is that shared? There we go. So there, you can see that it's actually torn the bag, right? It's crazy. And then here's the last photo. You can see the cards are got a little bit of bend on them on the end. Of course, because, you know, it looks like the end got just completely wrecked up. Canadian Grizzlies starting to play Magic. Yeah. Press F for that bad boy, yeah. Of course, Braids is in there, the card that no one wanted to pull. Rick will be happy because Braids got wrecked up, and he always says that Braids looks like his ex-wife. So, geez, just crazy. I mean, I'm glad it got there, but at the same time, I'm not really happy with the condition it's in. But I mean, sometimes there. See, Rick knows. Rick's here. Rick even knows. Yeah, it looks like that, Eric. It looks like it either fell off and got run over by something, or it got stuck in the conveyor and ripped open. I'm surprised it even made it to you, to be honest. Yeah, you traded it with, who was it? Kairu? Or somebody? I think it was Kairu that traded it with you. Can't remember. Do you have to pay extra in the States so your packages don't get destroyed? So I mean, like, I could pay more shipping costs here in Canada to make sure that it gets there without this kind of thing. It's called package insurance, and I could put it on there, but the package insurance in Canada is absolutely absurd. Um, I think for something like this, it's like to put the insurance on and say that the grab bag is worth $10 or whatever, right? It would cost me like $6 or something like that on top of the shipping cost. So basically, I would just be paying the entire amount that you put in to buy the grab bag for me in the first place on Patreon to pay to ship it to you, just to make sure it gets there without getting damaged. And that's not ideal. Not ideal. Not ideal. So Real Viking, no, it's not. Mo confirmed that he doesn't have any first run Zendikar anymore. He actually sold his last box a couple years ago, he said. And he was pretty sad about it. Wrap everything up in duct tape. So we moved to these plastic envelopes because they're cheaper. And you get more in a box. That's the only reason we moved to them. If you guys remember, you used to get the paper envelopes from me, and I feel like this kind of thing can't happen with a paper envelope as easily because it's not, it's a little bit more rigid on the outside. So, hey, look, speaking of Mo, there he is. Mo, I hope you enjoyed your breakfast. You still believe we're gonna get a mock sapphire from the Zendikar pack? I mean, let's hope. We can but hope. All right, Search Hunter, let's get into your packs. All right, Mana Burn, have a good. Is it Mana Burn? Yeah. Yeah, no worries. Have a good day at work. We'll see you later. Thanks for stopping by. We can but hop. That's right. There you go. See? You hit it out of the park with the promos, Mo. All right. First up, Lotus Eye Mystics. Now remember, for those of you who may not have been here at the beginning of the video, we are going to do a bit of a deep dive on the art and stuff as Surge Hunter requests. So we're going to take a closer look at the art on these cards. This is kind of cool because you can see this guy's got like a bandana over his eyes, but it's got like an eye drawn on the bandana. That's kind of neat. And of course, the lotuses kind of floating around them, which most people probably don't notice that they're actually flowers floating around them. I like that this card is from Ultimate Masters, though. That's kind of funny that this is the Ultimate Masters printing of this card, when Ultimate Masters was also a reprint set. Alright, we got Tarashi's Grasp next. Gorgeous art here. The Kamigawa art was always some of my favorite. Just like the aesthetic of it. Very cool. You can see this is like a spirit, essentially, grabbing this dude's... Is that like a... Is that a weapon, or is that a shovel? That's what I want to know. Is that kind of like an axe? It looks kind of like an axe, I guess. Yeah, it's got a sharp edge on it, like a blade. It's hard to tell because it's been so, like, degraded from the grasp, right? But it almost kind of looks like a shovel, right? Doesn't it? Sort of. there you go. There you go, Mo. You gotta go open up a shop in Virginia, because they don't have an LGS there. Time to pack it up, Mo. Pack up all your stuff. Cart it all down to the States. I'm sure that'll go really well, right? You've been there before? That's good, Mo. I guess you used to travel a lot, didn't you, for like shows and stuff? Because you were a little bit more active in the like the actual tournaments and stuff, weren't you? Gone missing? There's that hat. But where did the dude go? Who knows? Gone leaving? Is that the saying? In your younger years? Yeah. Moses going worldwide. I'm trying to help him. I mean, these packs are going over to the Netherlands. So there you go. See? And I mean, technically, Mo's shop is worldwide. You can buy anything off of his online store worldwide, I believe. The only stuff that he can't ship outside of Canada is like sets that have been released in the last 2 years. I think that's right, Mo? Everything else is fair game, I think. We got a snap here. Snap it off and what have you. Gorgeous art here. Kind of like a thunderstorm. It looks like you can see like the lightning coming down here and then forking out. Right? Very cool. Return target creature to its owner's hand. Untap up to 2 lands. There you go. Netherlands is the team you cheer for. Yeah, any except the last 2 years, yeah. It's a damn shipping. Yeah, the shipping makes it very expensive, Rick. You're not wrong. Bone Splinters. We've seen this card a number of times. This is the M20 art, so this is the newest art for Bone Splinters. What is this weird thing? It's like a humanoid, but it has like a bird face. I've actually never realized that this was like a bird person. But why does it have... It has like... Is that like its wing here? It's like a wing, right? Getting like cut off, and then that's a wing over there. But it's like black. And like the only like... I don't recall any black like bird soldiers that look similar to this that have black wings, right? Like, and even like if you think about like the bird soldiers that exist, like the Avens and stuff, they're all white winged. Not many of them are black winged, if any. So like, what's the deal with this one? Snap could be good if you have an Isochron Scepter out. Yeah, for sure. And some untap artifact shenanigans. Yeah, very much so. Am I playing Arena? Yes, Viking. I am. I can imagine that you do a lot of sales to the US, Mo, for sure, especially with the amount of product you have. It's a mask from the 13th century plague. Is that what that is? But there's like, but it's open and there's like blood and like a tongue coming out. We're not seeing him on a card again, I don't think. It's fair. It's fair. We got a noxious dragon. So we didn't get that demonic tutor, which is in the black slot in these packs, which is kind of funny. Bring out your dead. I'm not dead yet. Oh, you'll be stone dead in a moment. I love that movie. The Noxious Dragon, this art always kind of like left me wanting something. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's a dragon. You can see that it's a dragon. And I mean, it's got like black smoke coming out of its mouth, which is pretty noxious, I guess. But I feel like it could have been a little bit more accented. You know what I mean? Like the noxious part of this dragon could have been accented a little bit more. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm just being too critical. I'm not an artist by any means. There's also a dead dude just like down here. This is just like a dead guy in the foreground of the picture. Nobody ever focuses on that though, because no one cares about the dead guy. They only care about the dragon. The dragon is the threat. It's a good card though. I mean, I liked this card when it came out. This was in Fate Reforged, right? And it was it's a 4/4 flyer for 6, but when it enters the battlefield, or sorry, no, when it dies, you can destroy target creature with converted mana cost 3 or less. So, like, if they kill it, you get to kill one of their things, right? Unless they don't have any things to kill, and then I think you're probably already in a safe board state at that point. Reckless Fireweaver. The art on this card is pretty sweet. Look at those spirals. This would look absolutely gorgeous in foil, I could imagine. And I'm sure I probably actually have a foil of this since it's from Kaladesh. But, like, just the lines of the fire and stuff in this would look amazing in foil. Ooh, we got a Zealot of the God Pharaoh. We're getting a lot of, like, newer cards out of this pack. Did you notice this? So, like, Kaladesh, Fate Reforged, M20... Snap is not really new, but this is from one of like the Planeswalker or like one of the dual decks or whatever. SOI, so Shadows over Innistrad. Tarashi's Grasp from Modern Masters, Ultimate Masters. But like, wasn't this from one of the Cons blocks? I want to say this was a Cons block card that got reprinted into Ultimate Masters. Oh, does it actually have the... It doesn't have the watermark. Dang. Did I not pick out one of the grandma smelling packs for you? I'm sorry, Search Hunter. I'm sorry. Yeah, I guess you're getting a lot of newer art instead of older art here. It's kind of weird. Like, there's a Woolly Loxodon again, another one from Cons. Right? Follow your nose, Mr. B. Well, listen, we'll get some older art out of these other packs since, you know, 2 of them have the expert logo on them. You'll be alright. Fade into Antiquity. I love the art on this card, by the way. This has always kind of, like, caught me. It's just, like... I don't know. There's just something about the way the whatever this is, it looks like maybe a helmet. Right? Yeah, like a helmet. Just kind of, like, getting covered by brush. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just the way they've put the focal point kind of like this, the top crescent, because the crescent's all that's like sort of poking out from as it's getting overgrown. I don't know. It's always just caught me, this art. I don't know why. I think that's what it is. It's just a very interesting way of depicting, you know, fading into antiquity, right? We got a Treacherous Terrain. So this is from one of the, what is that, the commander decks? Is that what that symbol is? I can't remember. And by that I mean I didn't buy any of the early commander decks, so like if that's a commander logo, I don't know. Treacherous terrain deals damage to each opponent equal to the number of lands that player controls. This must be a commander deck because it's multiplayer. Treacherous terrain. Look at the... So, like... That is a city, right? There's a city there that appears to be having a bad time due to the terrain breaking up. Your favorite art is from Fallen Empires, the best set ever. I mean, yeah, we can go back that far. I just assumed Surge Hunter didn't want, you know, Fallen Empires or Homelands, because I think he said he already has a whole bunch of cards from those sets and doesn't need any more. It's Commander 2014. There you go. See? Okay, someone says 2014, someone says 2016. My goodness. How about a Ghost Quarter? There's another Commander printed card. That's another Commander symbol. See, there's the same thing. It's like basically almost the same logo, just it's got a shield in a shield. That's what you meant? Oh, okay, so 2016. All right. Ghost Quarter. This land is always fun. It's always good to have a couple of these kicking around. Who doesn't like, you know, blowing up your opponent's lands, right? Yeah. I mean, like, who doesn't like blowing up their opponent's lands? Again, another really cool, like, look at these ghosts floating around this fountain. It's pretty neat. Very cool. So that's your card that's older than 2015? Is that what that was? Because it was... No, that's your colorless card. So this is your card older than 2015. And it's a Rage Reflection, which is a rare from Lorwyn. Shadowmoor. Shadowmoor. That's the one. So 6 mana. I think I remember this. Yeah, it just gives your creatures double strike. I actually have a copy of this card from a different set. Is it from... is it a core set that this was reprinted in? I want to say it's a core set that this was reprinted in. Or maybe I'm mistaken, and I have just a Shadowmoor copy of this card. But I have a copy of this card somewhere. And I remember seeing it and being like, interesting. 6 mana enchantment that gives all of my creatures double strike? That seems alright. And then I realized that red is like... Unless you're playing mid-range red, this card doesn't really do a whole heck of a lot for you because you want to be out... You want to be basically out of cards by turn 6. Right, or ways to draw more cards by turn 6, and this doesn't really do that. And giving like your 1/1s and 2/2s in a red aggro deck double strike doesn't do a whole heck of a lot. Like it does okay, but on turn 6 it doesn't really do much, unless you have a whole board full of like little 1/1 goblins from like Krenko or something, right? It's just from Shadowmoor, so I must have a copy of it from that set then, or maybe I'm thinking of it from like one of the. You know what? It might not even be a physical copy that I have. It might be... I'm thinking of the old Duels of the Planeswalker games from Magic that were out on like Steam and Xbox and stuff like that. I think this card was in one of the red decks. And that's probably what I'm thinking of. And I know that's a very specific memory, but I played a lot of Duels of the Planeswalkers back in the day. Whoo, baby! How about an Elish Norn? That's a nice spicy hit. Look at that. Alright, we'll take it. I love this card. And I have to say, big shout out to Tappy Toeclaws. If you don't know who Tappy Toeclaws is, you should check her out. She's a cosplayer, and she made an Elish Norn cosplay, and it looks absolutely phenomenal. I suggest you go check it out. Holy moly. Like, this card's great. I love this card. I don't play this card enough for how much I love it. Let's put it that way. I don't have this card in enough decks for how much I actually enjoy this card. Hey, are you serious? After 6 boxes of mysteries, this is the only big hit you didn't get yet? So that's awesome. That's sweet. Well, we got there. And you got a foil Patron of the Moon. Look at that bad boy. So you got a 3 rare pack. You got a rare from your 2015 or earlier card. You got your rare, which was a mythic. And then you got a foil rare in your foil slot. That's sweet though, Search Hunter. I don't know. Listen, I don't think it sounds far-fetched at all because, you know, there are lots of sets where I've opened more than 6 boxes of things and not hit certain stuff. Aether Revolt. Aether Revolts. Patron of the Moon. That's a really cool art piece too. There's like a little like castle in the clouds. See that thing? What is up with the teeth on this thing though? Look at that tooth. That is a huge tooth. My goodness. Liliana of the Veil is your nemesis when it comes to Kraken packs? Yeah. Yeah. Seemed a bit too janky. I wish we had more Moonfolk. Yeah. 500 packs. Yeah, 500 packs of Ultimate Masters. Is that what it was, Maholnik? Is that where you were trying to crack the Liliana from? I think that's what it was. We got M13 next. We got a Plummet. Good old Plummet. Again, phenomenal art on here. You can see it's like a Sphinx getting wrapped up in vines. I don't think people actually look at this art close enough. Most of the time they just go, oh, Plummet, yeah, it kills a flying thing. But like you can see it's growing out of like the forest over here and it's whipping up and like wrapping around this Sphinx. Very cool. Very, very cool. That's not a harpy. That's not a harpy, that's a Sphinx. For sure. Because it's got paws on each hand. Right? Like a lion, right? Or like maybe it's a griffin, I guess. It could be a griffin. It's not a griffin though, because it doesn't have a bird face. It has a human face. But yeah, it's close though, because harpies and sphinxes are actually pretty close looking when you think about it. The only difference is that harpies don't actually have a second set of legs, right? They have the 2 legs on the bottom, and then they have their wings. And then sometimes they'll have hands, but they're actually hands and not paws, right? It's your mother-in-law. Oh, Rick. Show of Valor. There you go. Who doesn't like someone who's rescuing a child from what appears to be an inferno of fire? What else would an inferno be made of, you ask? Listen, I don't know. Hey, Ruben, how's it going? Hello from Canada. Welcome from Spain. Glad to have you. I hope you're doing well today. I hope you're having a happy Sunday. Bloodhunter Bat. It's a really cool one too. You can see like there's like it looks like a rundown chapel in the background, and then just a cluster storm of bats. Look at them all. Can you see them all back there? Look at them all. There's so many. There's so many bats. I feel like this card specifically should say you can have as many of these in your deck as you want, and then they get extra, because like look how many there are in the background. I mean, that's a swarm of bats. It's not just one bat. Right? Isn't that how that works? That should be how that works, right? Ooh, a race. I've really enjoyed this art too, for a very long time. So you can see like it's almost like there's an enchantment on this castle that's making it all kind of like dark and overgrown. And they've like cut a swath through the enchantment to reveal what the castle actually looks like. Really cool art. Really, really cool. I like especially the depiction here. Like you can see the birds here that look like bats, but then there's actually a bird here in the part that's erased, and it's actually a bird as opposed to a bat. So that's kind of cool. Or is that the flag? Maybe that's just the flag? It's hard to tell. Though that would have been cool if it had been like an actual bird there instead of a bat. Really interesting aesthetic would have been if that was the case. 4 mana for a bat, owie. Yeah, yeah. But I mean, it drains for 2, right? So it's a 4 mana, 4 life point swing that gives you a 2/2 flyer. So, you know. For a core set, that's actually really good. That Blood Hunter Bat was probably a standout in the core set when this was out in Limited, right? There's your Fire Elemental, the good old 5/4 for 5, right? Is its face like a serpent? Does it have a little forked tongue there? Look at that. You see that, right? It looks like it has like a little face with a forked tongue coming out of it. I've never noticed that. I've never noticed that. Well, you gotta remember the core sets, too, are gonna be a little bit, like, lackluster on their abilities and stuff, because the core sets were meant to, like, build you a base to be able to build from. And not just in Limited, but also in, like, the standard environment. Basically just filler cards, right? Cards that allow you to have what you need to build around, right? For instance, double white, right? Double white casting costs, so like now you've got something that costs double white in case you need devotion or whatever, like things like that. Now I don't think, was 2013 when when the original Theros block was around? I don't think it was. I think it was a little bit later than that. But like things like that, you know, like they always like throw things into the core sets that then help the other sets out, and you don't realize it until the other sets that they were building on top of came around, right? What old memories. M13. Yeah, man. Don't worry, we've got other... Look at these packs. We've got Onslaught, Scourge, and Zendikar coming up next. We're going down memory lane here. These are all for Surge Hunter in chat. He was a patron at a level that gets him $100 worth of packs from Moz Magic. Mo is also in chat. So these were the packs we picked this month for him. Hopefully going to get him some sweet goblins, or some cards that he doesn't have already. Again, so this Johnny's Sunstriker, we sort of showed this off a bunch here. You know, who doesn't like cat people, right? I mean, you can see there's a whole bunch of them in the background. This one's a little bit more adorned than the others, right? Which makes sense because it is a 2/2 lifelinker for 2, right? Which is pretty good. Plays well with a Johnny's Pridemate, right? Primal Hunt Beast. Look at this one. This is interesting. So I've always sort of like wondered when I saw this art the first time. The interesting thing about the way that this is drawn, right, is you can see that the sun is kind of coming in beams, right? Like you can see a sunbeam here along this side, right? Are these patterns on this beast just rays of sun that are getting through the trees, or is it actually the pattern on the beast's coat? This is the question I pose to you. I can't tell. I honestly can't tell. It kind of looks like it's just the pattern on its coat, but it could also just be sunbeams, which is interesting. It's an interesting aesthetic if so, right? I guess you wouldn't get such harsh lines, maybe? I don't know. The flavor text says, to the unskilled, it appears as blurred patches of distorted light. Few have seen its true form. See? So that was the purpose, right? The purpose of it is to make it look like as though it's like sunbeams coming through the canopy, right? Which is really interesting. But so which one is it, right? And it says, even, few have seen its true form. So maybe even this picture doesn't tell us, right? It's very interesting. You love cats? They taste real good. Ugh. Rick, come on, man. Maybe it was an Eldrazi all along. Maybe. ALF. Welkin Turn. Little bird. Little 2/1 flyer for 2. Can only block creatures with flying. Remember how we now have 2/1 flyers for for 3 that draw you a card, or is it for 2 that draw you a card now? No, it's for 3, right? Or no, we do have the 2/1 flyers for 2 that draw you a card, don't we? The elemental 2/1 flyer. And this has a downside, right? This is how the good old power creep, right? It does kind of look like Elf. Fair, fair. Good old power creep. Right? So a 2/1 flyer that can only block creatures with flying for 2 mana. Now we get a 2/1 flyer for 2 that draws you a card. Oh, there you go. Krenko's Command. Well, obviously you have a Krenko's deck, so you probably already have a copy of this. Remind me not to come to your part of Virginia. Yeah. I agree, Eric. I agree. I don't think I would want to eat a cat, to be completely fair with anyone here. And in fact, I don't think I could eat a cat. I am a cat person. I love cats. Although, I will say this, I also love dogs. So, you know. I'm just a pet person. Cat snacking country. Oh, dear. Alright. Some cool little art here. You know, you got 2 little goblins, like, skulking about. It looks like they're in some sort of, like, alleyway from... It kind of looks like Ravnica, to be completely honest with you. The architecture and stuff. Bloodthorn Vampire. This card's great. I love this card. This is a great little sacrifice outlet that is a 1/1 for 2 mana, but it gets +2/+2 when you sack something to it. This card is great in any kind of black, like Aristocrats deck or anything like that. Just great. Just great. Krenko was a Ravnica Goblin, so it would be Ravnica. Yeah, so that makes sense then, see? So was this the time that we went... So was 2013 around the time we went back to Ravnica the first time? Is that about right? I don't even know. I think I can pull up the... I think I have the list here. Let me see. Core 2013? Where are we? It was. Return to Ravnica. Boom! Core 2013 was just before Return to Ravnica. Yeah, Core 2013 came out in July of 2012. Return to Ravnica came out in October 2012. So there you go. Hence why the architecture in these cards looks like Ravnica. But there you go. Good old Bloodthorn Vampire. Good one. Okay, we're into the uncommons now. We got a Chronomatron. Chronomaton. My goodness, what a name for a card. And like what is going on here? It has like a handful of keys that it's like dumping. Oh, there's keys on all of his joints. Ow. There's a keyhole there and a keyhole there, and there's one in his back, obviously. Okay. Now I understand why there's keys. I get it. Okay. On the 3rd night, the villagers destroyed their clocks. The sound of whirring gears and chiming metal held only dread for them. That makes more sense. Interesting. It's an interesting card. It's a 1/1 for 1 that you pay 1 and tap it and put a 1/1 counter on it, so it gets bigger. Can this be abused in some way? I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe there's a way to abuse it with, like, Surge Node? Or, like, Energy Chamber? You have had 15 plus degrees Celsius the past few days. We had snow here yesterday. It snowed here. Like a lot. Like it didn't stick to the ground that much, but it like stuck to the edges of the grass and stuff. Yeah, see, Mo knows what's up. We had snow yesterday. We didn't get a whole heck... Like, it was a blizzard for a little bit. But again, like, it mostly melted when it hit the ground. But the edges of the grass definitely had, like, an edge of white snow on them. Blood reckoning. It's the reckoning of blood. Enchantment. Whenever a creature attacks you or a planeswalker you control, that creature's controller loses a life. Ah. So it's worse. What is that? What was the one that came out in Throne? It was Throne of Eldraine, right? That had the black enchantment for 4 mana that was like whenever a creature attacks you, they lose a life and you gain a life. It was like Raven's something. It's 104 degrees Fahrenheit in your parts. In your pants? No, in his parts. 22 degrees Celsius and nice breeze there. Wow, sounds like a summer day already for you, Surge Hunter. Same with you, Maholnik. It's like a nice summer day, 15 plus degrees Celsius. 104 Fahrenheit sounds extremely warm. The art on this card is really cool. But this is not as good as that new enchantment that came out, right? Because this is they only lose a life. It doesn't drain them. So I mean, like, it does basically the same thing. It kills them for attacking you, but it doesn't give you the life. So that's unfortunate. Oh, Kite Sail! This is a pet card of mine from years ago. I used to put this in like every deck that I needed flyers in that I didn't have flyers in. I would just stick this in and be like, yeah, now my creatures are bigger and have flying. All right. Go, Kite Sail, go! Yeah, but it's a dry heat. Yeah, Revenge of the Ravens is the card I was thinking of, Surge Hunter, for sure. It snowed here yesterday. I'm in New Jersey, and I'm not on the water. Now, it's 60. What the hell is going on? Yeah? Yep. Welcome to our ridiculous world we live in now, where the temperature fluctuates on a day-to-day basis, and you might get snow one day and then have sweltering heat the next. Like, we had a couple weeks back in, like, February where it was, like, really warm. Like, warm for February. Like, you could go outside in shorts and a t-shirt. And I was like, this is weird, and I don't know how I feel about it. Don't get me wrong, I'm not a huge fan of snow. Mainly because I have to shovel it. That's my main gripe with snow is that I have to shovel it. Not a huge fan of shoveling snow. But you know how it goes. What is like there's like little rings of stone on the end of this. I guess there's like they're counterweights to keep it balanced, right? There's like one on each end, and there's like a little thing on the back end. They must be just like little rocks or weights to keep it balanced in the air. It must be, right? You shovel snow? What do you keep Charlotte around for? Cooking. She does all of the cooking, Search Hunter. She keeps me fed, and well fed at that. She makes tasty things. And in fact, interesting enough, she has sold spices to people in the Netherlands and in Denmark in the last week. And I was like, that's weird. What are their addresses? And she told me their addresses, and I'm like, oh, those aren't my patrons. Huh. Interesting that you got orders to those places around the same time as I got patrons that are around those places. Yeah, spices. She makes spices. She does. You say right, but she does. See, Mo can attest to it. Mo's had them. They're very, very good. They're very good. Her business has been blowing up lately. It's crazy. She's been getting like probably at least a sale or two every day for the past like week and a half. It's pretty crazy. Well, she used to work at the post office. She doesn't work at the post office anymore. She actually quit the post office about what, 3 years ago? Was that right? About 3 years ago, I just told her to quit. I said, don't work at the post office anymore. Stay home. Post office is making you miserable. I want you to stay home and be happy. Work on your side businesses, right? And just do that. And so she did. And she's been way happier ever since. So. Which makes me happy in turn. You know? And your rare is a Rocks Faith Mender, this was actually reprinted in the mystery boosters as a foil, I think, right? I believe there was a foil copy of this in the mystery booster packs. So it's a 1/5 lifelink for 4, but it says if you would gain life, you gain twice that much life instead. So there you go. Where you'd be having an inside woman with sending so much packages now. Yeah. Yeah, she's definitely, like, she's shipping stuff out all the time now. It's crazy. Speaking of which, I did ship out all of the grab bags this week. The only ones that I haven't shipped out yet are the ones that are going over to Europe. Mainly because the Europe stuff is still a little bit up in the air. Anything going essentially outside of, like, one of the colonies, so like the UK or Australia, Canada Post is, like, not guaranteeing that the stuff will get there, and I'm like, this is kind of weird. Like, what do you mean you're not going to guarantee that it gets there? And they're like, well, we can't guarantee anything. And I'm like, but I paid the postage. Where's it going to go? Well, if it doesn't make it there, it'll come back to you. Oh, good. Okay, great. So I'm just holding on to those ones for now. Looking over the site now. All right. Well, if you do order something, Search Hunter, we'll try to get it shipped out to you. She did ship out the other ones to those places, but there's no guarantee that they're going to get there. But she had to, like, let the people know that ordered. Like, so she sent them an email and was like, I've shipped it. Canada Post doesn't say that it'll, like, they can't guarantee that it'll get there. Their website says that they are shipping to there, but they can't guarantee that it gets there. So it may not make it. And if it doesn't, then I can just refund you. If it does make it, great. Right? So she shipped it out, and it's kind of like, You worked at the post office as a rural carrier many moons ago? I didn't know that, Mo. That's really cool. Who doesn't like a rhino, you know? Oh, and there you go, a nice Drake token. Was this the set that had Talrand in it? I think it was, wasn't it? That's where this 2/2 Drake came from, right? Cool. And a nice little swamp. Gorgeous looking land, by the way. Good job, Jung Park. I hope that's how you pronounce that name. Absolutely gorgeous swamp. Look at the little birds. Look at them little birdies. Very cool. Having 5 life gain doublers on the field sounds like fun. It sure does. Might be yucky in the life gain deck you built. Give her. Get in, man. Do it. Do that. You did it for 2 years. 2 years, Richard. Damage to your vehicle made it not worth it. Ah, yeah. You have to get a new vehicle every year? My goodness, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Ooh, here we go. Look at this. Look at these sweet old border, old art, old frame cards. I miss them. I miss the old frame. Don't get me wrong. The new frame is nice, right? Like, the new frame is nice. It's nice. It lets the art have a little bit more room, right? But man, these old frames, they just get me, you know? It's right in the feels. Right in the nostalgia feels. Look at this naturalize. Even just looking at the card itself without even looking at the art, right? It's just gorgeous. Gosh, they did such a good job designing these cards back in the day. My goodness. Look at this naturalize though. Really cool art on this one. Basically like a druid, I guess, breaking down a sword that appears to have been jammed in the ground, it looks like. And just getting rid of it. Very cool. Oh man, Dirge of the Dead. Look at this guy. Look, there's like little rats. There's little riddy rats running away. Being like, oh no, we were eating that corpse and now it's standing up. And the corpse is like, damn rats, get out of here. You worked for the railway as a conductor for almost 30 years? Wow, I didn't know that either, Mo. That's sweet. It's Mr. B before he had a Patreon. What, this one? Or the Naturalize? Because the Naturalize, this guy looks more like me. Because I'm also bald. That's about it. That's about all I got going on, though. Or are you saying I just look like a zombie corpse? The Dirge naturalizes Kamal. Yeah, Kamal, for sure. When he stopped becoming when he stopped being a murderous barbarian and became a druid hugging trees. Hilarious. I'm a zombie corpse? My goodness. Awkward. I mean, you're probably not wrong, but yeah. Gravel Slinger. I think I'm more like the Dirge of the Dead guy, or Dirge of Dread after I have a Patreon and all of my YouTube content and all of my Twitch content. Because dear God, do I feel like a zombie some days. Dear God, do I feel like a zombie some days. Just no energy, no ability to do anything. We've got a Gravel Slinger. What is this weird... What is this weird device this dude has? Is it like a stick? Is that like a sling on a stick? Is that what that is? I can't tell. Gravel Slinger deals 1 damage to target attacking or blocking creature. Like, what is this device? It looks like it's swinging around, right? Like, you've got, like, the circle, right? You've got, like, kind of, like, the outline of the circle here, right? It looks like it's swinging, but it doesn't look like it's coming out this side, see? There's no circle on this side of the card, right? So, like, is it not swinging all the way around? Like, what is happening? I don't know. A gravel sling. Yeah, yes, I gather that. But what is this device made of, is what I'm asking. Like, is that a piece of metal that picks up a piece of gravel and flings it? Or is it a strap and you have to, like, spin it like a sling? Like, it's a helicopter blade? Like, maybe. I don't know, right? It looks really weird. Alright. Oh, man, the art on this card. I've always loved the art on this card as well. This thing just looks menacing, right? Battering Craghorn. Look at this thing. So it's a 3/1 first striker for 4, right? The art on this is just gorgeous. Like, having the red background of the cave kind of thing. And then, but then having, like, this thing look like it itself is made of rock is really cool. And you whip the stick around to give it a speed? Yeah. He identifies as an attack helicopter. It's a stick with a piece of leather, like a sling. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, Surge Hunter, is that it looks like it's probably like a piece of leather with that, like, you whip around to get the speed up, to be able to fling the gravel. But it's just hard to tell, you know what I mean? We've got a Sage Aven. Look at that moon. And again, a bird wizard. If you don't know what, if you've never played a bird deck, you haven't played Magic. So, just telling you right now, if you've never played a deck made with birds, tribal birds, you need to do so. Because it's interesting. Onslaught was so tribal. Yes, it was. Very, very tribal. Scourge was sort of the same way, right? Scourge has a lot of tribal stuff in it as well, because they were around the same time. They did a lot of tribal stuff in this era, from what I recall. Bird Wizard. Good old Bird Wizard. And don't make it a wizard deck. Just make it a bird deck. Make it a bird deck. We've got a Wirewood Savage. Does Derevi flashing all over the shop count as bird tribal? No. I'm going to say no. If you aren't running literally all of the worst birds, then you're not playing the right bird deck. See, that's my experience with birds. Play every bird because you want to see how bad they are. And then it turns out they real bad. There's some good birds, don't get me wrong. There are some good birds, but a lot of the birds are not great. A lot of the birds are not great. We got a sweet little elf you can see here. There's such a simpler time too, you know what I mean? Like the art is very focused on what the actual image is. The background is still there, but it doesn't really take the focus away. Very just clean. Do you know what I mean? Very clean. Oh, there you go. We finally found a goblin. The Skirk Prospector. Ah, look at these goblins. Look what I found. What did you find? I found this shiny gem. Oh, it's a shiny one. What did you find? I don't know. See, there's a third guy in the background there. We gotta watch out. Hey, No Name Senor, how's it going? I don't know about you, but I don't know if I trust goblins to be prospectors. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if I trust goblins to be prospectors. I'm doing well, thank you. I don't know if I trust goblins to be prospectors. And yes, that's right. There was a newer print of this prospector, wasn't there? From, what was that from? One of the core sets? Because it's the same thing. Sack a goblin, add a red mana. Was it Core 2020 that has that guy? I think it was, right? It was fairly new, because it's actually sees play right now. Oh, it was Dominaria. That's what I'm thinking of. The Dominaria one. Yeah, with like, he's got like the weird mining helmet with the candle on it. Not as cool as this one, in my opinion. Look at this guy. Definitely much cooler. Because there's 3 of them. And they've actually found some sort of shiny. Look at the shiny they found. There's something shiny. I'm glad that you'll put that one to use, Search Hunter. Sweet. And I'm glad that you love the goblin voice. And it's not my best work, but it's some of my work. Spy Network. I love this card too, because it's just like such an absurd art on this card. Like there's like a dude working in his shop. It looks like he's like a blacksmith and blowing the bellows there. That's kind of like looks like what he's doing, or like he's working on. There's like a cog in there or something. I don't know. Well, he's fixing something or doing some work, and there's just like a giant eyeball out of the window. Like, I just want to imagine that this is like, it's actually just like a giant just standing at the door staring in at him. Do you know what I mean? And it's like not really a spy network at all. It's just a big giant looking in, and the dwarf just hasn't noticed, and that's it. Hey Corbin, how's it going? Welcome, welcome. All right. Bear with me a moment here. I need to get a drink here. My voice is starting to go horsey. Drink water, they say. Especially if you're talking this much. Always drink water. All right. Spy Network. All right, next up. Elvish Pathcutter. Now this dude, the art on this is absolutely gorgeous. It looks extremely like hyper realistic, which is awesome. The level of detail on the armor and stuff is absolutely phenomenal. Who did this? Todd Lockwood. Look at this. Absolutely phenomenal art on this card. Like you can even see like the fur on the epaulette there, like, or the shoulder pad, the pauldron, I guess is what you would call it. Water is bad for you. Drink scotch. The goblin voice is taking its toll. Sure, yeah. 1/2 elf for 4 though. Kinda awkward. Not the best card in the world by any means, right? Although giving a target elf forest walk for 3 mana, not a bad little ability. Especially if you're playing like a tribal elf deck, because you swing with like a small little elf dude, you pay 3 mana, give it forest walk, now they can't block it, then you pump it with your Timberwatch elves and it gets huge and murders your opponent, right? That's how that works. It's great. Great fun. Alright, oh, another goblin. There you go. How about a Sparksmith? I can just like the image of this, right? Like the image of this dude just like standing here cranking this like sharpening stone to make sparks. Like I just imagine this guy going like, "Hey guys, look what I found! Look what I can do! Woo!" And he's just like spinning this thing and it's just like sparking, and all the other goblins are like, "Cool. All right. You all right over there? You doing okay?" He's like, "Yeah, sparks! Yeah!" And you're like, okay. Like, uh-huh, yeah, alright, you did it. X damage to target creature, and X damage to you, where X is the number of goblins in play. I mean, as long as you have a thing that prevents damage to yourself on your turn, right? Isn't that one? You could do, like, what is that, Personal Sanctuary? Isn't that the one? Is that what I'm thinking of? It's like... Is that the one I'm thinking of? Is that the right card? Personal Sanctuary? Huh? Personal Sanctuary? Come on, TCG player! Gah! Yeah, during your turn, prevent all damage that would be dealt to you. There you go. Boros Goblins. Play Personal Sanctuary, play Sparksmith, murder your opponent with goblins that then don't do damage to yourself. That's probably all I'm going to think about when I see Sparksmith now. Good. I'm glad. I'm glad. Well, and Search Hunter, that's why I picked these sets, because there's a lot of goblins in here. Alright, we're into the first uncommon. Towering Baloth. Look at this guy. So it's a morph. It's the goblin way. I mean, that's fair. It is the goblin way. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. So this is a 7/6 for 8. And that's all it is. Like, again, let's talk about power creep, right? That's what this is, right? 7/6 for 8. Nowadays, you can get a 6/6 for 5, right? Which basically blocks this and trades, and it costs 3 less mana. Even the morph, right? Like, putting it down as a 2/2 for 3 mana, great. But you can't flip it over until you have 7 mana, and then it's only a 7/6. Oh yeah, it looks absolutely terrifying. I agree with you. Like, it looks like you definitely do not want to meet this in the field of battle at all. But The interesting thing is just the power creep level, right? Like it's just so interesting to see the, you know, the increase in things like that, where it's like, you know, core sets now have 6/6s for 5, or a 6/6 for 6, right? In the common slot. Like, let's talk about Colossal Dreadmaw. It's a trampler. It's a 6/6 trampler for 6 mana, and it was common, right? Like, this is an uncommon. Daru Encampment. Add a generic mana, or pay a white and tap it, and target soldier gets +1/+1 until end of turn. This is one of the very lackluster lands from the, from this set. The Wirewood Lodge, I think, is the best one, and then there's the Unholy Grotto is also a decent one. Like, the Elf one and the Zombie one seem like much better than the other three, right? The Riptide Laboratory was the one for blue, and it was okay. I think it bounced a creature, right? Is that what it did? I think it bounced a creature. And then the Riptide Lab, yeah, the Riptide Lab was a rare, right? Yeah. So you'd like that as your rare, please? Soldier Tribal? I mean, yeah, the problem is that it only gives 1, right? This is the problem. Since its target soldier gets +1/+1, right? And that's it. So pay a white, and so for 2 mana, give 1 soldier +1/+1. And that's it. It's very lackluster. Very lackluster. Right, whereas the Elf one, untapped an Elf. The Unholy Grotto let you put cards from your graveyard on top of your library, right? Riptide Lab let you bounce creatures to your hand. It's not even a counter, exactly. It's bad, but you like the art. Yeah, the art looks phenomenal, don't get me wrong, on the Daru Encampment. It looks great. We've got a Fade from Memory here as the last uncommon. 1 mana black instant that says remove target card from a graveyard. And then you could cycle it for a black. Discard it and draw a card. And I mean, like, that looks pretty cool. It's like a tombstone, basically, just getting, like, wrecked up. Right? That's what that looks like to me. It looks like a tombstone or a, you know, something. A grave marker, essentially, getting wrecked up. Because you're removing the card from the graveyard, right? It's cool. And look, there's birds in the background. There's all these birds and these black cards. All these black card arts have, like, these weird, like, white cranes in the background. Hilarious. There it is. Proper Burial is a luxury Otarians can no longer afford. Take that, Otarians. Alright, so you wanted a Riptide Laboratory? It's red. I'm sorry, your rare is red. Your rare is red. Are you ready? It's a goblin. It's a goblin. Yeah. We hit the red rare goblin. Boom. It's not mana echoes, sorry. But you did get a Goblin Lord. A 2/2 for 5 with protection from red. Tap 5 untapped goblins you control, and it deals 10 damage to each creature and each player. Except itself, because it has protection from red. What a ridiculous goblin. What a ridiculous goblin. Tap 5 untapped. He's boss because he's smart enough to get out of the way. You already have Skirk Boy in your Krenko deck? I like the fact that they're like dumping like essentially like lava or something off of a cliff here. And he's over there like, yeah, put it over there. Pour it on those guys. What's that? I'm sorry, I can't hear you over the screams of you burning. Thanks for your help, goblins. And he's just like sacrificing his own team to wipe the board. And this could be very good in a Krenko deck, I agree with you. Right? So not Mana Echo. Ooh, but look at that. Sweet old foil, though. Look at that. Nice. It's only a common, but geez, these old foils are absolutely gorgeous. Look at that. It's so nice. Oh yeah, yeah. Just wipe out all your own goblins and then just murder them with the death triggers. Insect tribal. Listen, you got that sweet ant queen right there. There it is. Right there's that ant queen. Now you've got a nice symbiotic elf to go with it, and it's foil, just like the ant queen. I wish they would bring back the star wipe. I really do. I really wish they would bring back the star wipe. The star wipe is gorgeous. I'm upset that they don't have it anymore. Alright, we're at an hour and a half, and we got 2 packs left. Let's see if we can finish these off before the 2-hour mark. Alright, we've got Dragon's Breath. Scourge is next, by the way. For those of you who are wondering what pack is next. Scourge. Hey, Dave, how's it going? DTN. For those of you who don't know who Dave DeSantis is, he's one of my buddies from my hometown. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for hanging out. He streams over on Twitch occasionally. He's been joining me for Magic streams on Mondays occasionally. So check him out. Spread some love. Prepare for my full foil insect tribal deck coming next week. Nice. Nice. Alright, so we got this Dragon's Breath. Look at that bad boy right there. That pig looks like it ate one too many hot tamales. Don't interrupt the show for me. I would never think of it. I would never think of it. Uncontrolled infestation. Hey, I didn't know that slivers were like, you know, essentially like termites. Is that what this is? So I was like, they're just like wrecking up this house. Only a non-basic land. When enchanted land becomes tapped, destroy it. Huh. That's awkward, isn't it? That's awkward. Here, enjoy your land there that you've got. Don't use it unless you want to lose it. Slivers, man. Slivers. Wipe clean. Look at this art. This is very weird and interesting. What is going on? Remove target enchantment from the game. Light of the ancestors will scour the taint of darkness from the land. What is going on in this? What is this weird, like, what is this weird creature? And what is this weird symbol that is, like, and this dude is, like, arm of light? There's a lot going on in this art. There's a lot going on in this art. I don't know how... it's like a demonic rune or something, and he's, like... erasing it or like getting rid of it with the power. But like, why? What is this weird thing, and why is it in the picture? Is it? I'm very confused by this art. I don't know what's going on. Looks like bad gas chasing away a yeti. I mean, I guess it's something like that. I honestly have no idea what's happening in this art. There's like a weird rune thing. It's your mother-in-law again, right? Oh, man. Dragon Fangs. That is interesting. So this is an enchantment that gives +1/+1 and gives trample. And it says, when a creature with converted mana cost 6 or more comes into play, you may return Dragon Fangs from your graveyard to play, enchanting that creature. Really cool little enchantment card. Right, that has essentially a buyback scenario. Very good. And I mean, who doesn't want to give random Dragon Fangs to like this beast looks like it's extremely shocked that these fangs are all of a sudden in its mouth. Do you know what I mean? Like, it looks like it's flinching. It looks like this beast is flinching from these teeth appearing in its mouth. I can imagine that it's a solid EDH enchantment card. I mean, anything with buyback is always good, right? Any way to essentially recur it from the graveyard is great. Death's Head Buzzard. So this is a 2/1 flyer for 3, 1 and double black. Flyer that says when it's put into a graveyard from play, all creatures get -1/-1 until end of turn. And it's only a 2/1, right? So it's probably gonna die. It looks pretty necrotic there. Like, what is dripping from its jaw? It looks like tar. It's probably skin or blood or something. But like, it looks almost like tar, just kind of like dripping off of its face. Really cool aesthetic. Oh man, I loved these cards. I'm not a huge blue player. I'm not a huge blue Magic player, but like these wizards that are like made of like essence or water or whatever you want to call it, they always really grab me. Like, I love the aesthetic of that, where it's like, it's essentially a being of like pure mana or power. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's basically what it looks like to me, or what it feels like they were going for with the art on these ones. This is an expensive wizard though. 8 mana for a 1/1. But the idea is that it's a morph, right? I mean, you're not... Yeah, here the point here is that you play it for 3 mana, and then you flip it up for 1 blue, right? But I mean, also, like... What... This card is... 4 mana 1/1 or 8 mana 1/1, baby! Physical to exile? Oh, maybe that's what it is, Maholnik. Yeah, it could be. Could be. Yeah, like, this is just weird. I mean, like, I think you'd rather just keep it as a 2/2, right? The only reason you want to flip this face up as a 1/1 for 1 blue is if you need the wizard for some other tribal benefit, right? That's basically it. Like, I think you're basically going to keep this as a 2/2 on the board at all times. You're never going to flip it up unless you need to for some reason. Now, this is also... Let's be honest, right? The art. Yeah, the art is a transformation device. Yeah, I get it. The other thing that's interesting about this is that the morph game is very strong in this set, and you always want to keep your opponents guessing what morph you might have, right? You basically want to keep this as a 2/2, right? Not sure where he got his ego from being a shitty one. I mean, yeah. Once I was a human. Now I am far more. Are you, though? Are you, though? Like, you're still just a 1/1. Yeah, so in Scourge, there wasn't a lot of triggers that were like, when something flips face up, do a thing. That was something that sort of came along with the cons block when they brought Morph back. They really dove deep into the, when things flip face up, do a trigger, right? The original Scourge block doesn't have as many of those triggers. It gets eaten by a squirrel. Yeah. Gets killed by a death buzzard. Gets eaten by literally anything. Gets eaten by literally anything. It's interesting. The Scourge, we've opened a lot of things that are not creatures so far in Scourge. It's kind of interesting. Scourge is normally a pretty heavy creature set, from what I recall. Well, there you go. There's a 6/6. Wirewood Guardian. So this is an interesting one. It's a 7 mana 6/6, which is not bad for this set back then, right? But it has forest cycling, which was an interesting one. So 2 generic to cycle it. But not just that, you discard it from your hand, search your library for a forest card, reveal it, and put it into your hand, right? So instead of normal cycle where you discard it and then draw, forest cycling or plane cycling or whatever specifically lets you go and get a land of the type that it talks about. It's so bad that I almost want to say it's a misprint. It's definitely not a misprint. It's there to keep your opponents guessing as to which morph you have on the table, right? And also there's a lot of tribal things like with wizards and stuff like that. So like you gotta remember like this set has a lot of wizards in it and a lot of things that benefit for having more wizards in play. So you have a 2/2 morph, and when you now have a reason to flip it into a wizard, you flip it into a wizard. It becomes a 1/1. Yeah, you lose a bit of power and toughness, but it gives you the benefit of whatever it is that you might need for said wizard, right? There's a deck box with that egotist on the front of it because he's such a strong card. I I I I don't know what to say about that. This thing looks like a troll. Wirewood Guardian. It looks like a troll made out of trees. Which I guess that's the elves being like, what's the thing that we fear the most? We fear trolls, so we'll make a troll out of trees. I guess that's what that was. It's an elf mutant. Weird. It's the pulverized theme deck. Oh man. Dispersal Shield. Counter target spell if its converted mana cost is less than or equal to the highest converted mana cost among permanents you control. If you play this to counter something because you say you have a permanent on the battlefield that's got like 6 converted mana cost and you're countering a 5-drop spell and like you play this to counter it and then they remove your 6-drop card off the table, now this spell like fizzles because it can't counter the thing. It's weird. It's an interesting card. Yeah, the art is phenomenal. Like a shield being bombarded here. And you can see like it's holding back and so it's all like smoking out the other side. Very cool. Torrent of Fire. This is a really cool art card too. So again, another sorcery. I don't remember Scourge having this many sorceries in instance, but like maybe I was wrong. I thought Scourge had a lot of creatures in it, didn't it? Wasn't Scourge heavy on creatures? Maybe I'm thinking of Onslaught. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking of Onslaught. Maybe Scourge was the set that was like, here's all of the spells that go with Onslaught's creatures. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Torrent of Fire. Torrent of Fire deals damage equal to the highest converted mana cost among permanents you control to target creature or player. So far, in this pack, we've only opened, 3 permanents, and everything else has been a spell, so this card does, like, no damage. Legions is all creatures. Yeah, I know Legions is all creatures, but I think, like Scourge and Onslaught were also fairly heavy with tribal creatures as well. Just not as heavy as Legions. Legions was, like, very, like, that was an entire creature set, so there was no instants or sorceries in it at all, right? But these sets should at least still have a decent amount. I'm pretty sure that dude is dead. Yeah. I mean, like, yeah. Probably. I mean, it's possible that he could live, I guess. I've seen people live through similar things or worse things. What just happened? What just happened? Do you guys see this? Did the color just change? What happened? Whoa, that was weird. Did you see that? It went like blue. You guys saw that, right? I didn't touch anything. I touched nothing. I touched nothing both times. It just went blue, and then it went back to normal. Hmm? Hmm? Try to counterspell the Torrent of Fire? Maybe. Without flesh, there can be no flesh wound. It's true. It's true. Aven Liberator. There we go. Bird. We found another bird. Okay, you've got enough birds to start your bird tribal deck. Here you go. You got blue and white. All right, so it's a flyer for 4. It's a 2/3, and it says when it's turned face up, target creature you control gains protection from the color of your choice until end of turn. Sweet. Sweet. And like, look at this, like, there's like just this big like battle going on, and this bird's like, haha, and all of the dudes are just like, whatever, bird. Look at them. They're like, whatever, bird. No one cares. No one cares about whatever it is you're doing, bird. There's a fight. There's a battle going on. Just do whatever your job is and get out of here, bird. Bird tribal and full foil insect tribal. Yep. Bleeding you dry. You're going to have to invest so much money now. Lingering Death. Man, the art on this card is crazy good, too. So this is a 2-mana enchant creature. It says, the controller of enchanted creature sacrifices it at the end of his or her turn. And it's just like this really cool art of like essentially this demon or whatever this thing is, essentially like being burned away from the inside out. Like bleeding basically like black blood out of its mouth and eyes and nose, and then just like smoke coming out. Such a cool art on that card. We're into uncommons now. We got a Kurgadon. Kurgadon. 3/3 for 5. Sounds great. If you play a creature with converted mana cost 6 or more, put 3 1/1 counters on Kurgadon. This guy gets big. This little dude, man, gets big fast. Like, you play a 3/3 on turn 5, and they go, a 3/3 for 5 mana, and then next turn you play a 6-drop creature, and now you have a 6/6. And the next turn you play another 6-drop creature or a 7-drop creature, and now you have a 9/9. Because it's whenever you play, it's not the first time. This thing just gets bigger and bigger. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, I like playing this in with, whatchamacallit? Goreclaw? Playing this with Goreclaw would be great. Right? Making all your things cheaper. Like, doesn't make this cheaper because it's not 4 power, right? So you have to play this for retail at 5. But then everything else you play after that can make this bigger. So you could almost drop 2 6-drops the next turn, right? Depending on your ramp scenario, right? That's pretty cool. And then if you have, like, Kiora out, or, like, what is that? Garrick's Pack Leader or whatever. That's, like, whenever you play a creature with power 4 or greater, draw a card. Good stuff. Oh, and there's a new partner card, too, right? Or the new companion card, Karuga or whatever. It's like a power 4 or greater, draw a card or whatever. Isn't that what that one does? Something like that, right? Could be good. Or, yeah, you could play the other companion, Neotroy or whatever. The one that, like, makes... You could pick a type of card and it discounts it by 2. Also another good one. Kurgadon. Alright. We've got Misform Warchief. Here you go, another creature. Hey, Unscrewed, how's it going, man? How's it going? Long time no see, man. We've got a 3-mana 1/3. Creature spells you play that share a creature type with Misform Warchief cost 1 less to play. Misform Warchief becomes the creature type of your choice until turn. Speaking of discounts, there you go. Look at that. Now you can play blue-green, Kiora, creature big stuff. Draw cards, make this your discount. It's going pretty well. We're opening up some packs for Surge Hunter right now. He came in at the Patreon at some random packs from Moz Magic, and so we've got a pack of Zendikar off here to the side. We've done 4 other packs so far. We're just finishing up Scourge at the moment. The art on this is really cool, too. It's like a spirit illusion beast thing. Really cool looking. I don't know what all these, like, bars and pillars and things are. It kind of almost looks like it's in some sort of, like, mechanical... Like, it almost looks like it's in some sort of, like, industrial plaza or something. Do you know what I mean? Which is interesting. Huh. You love the Mistform cycle from Scourge? Secret ninja tech for days? Yeah, that too. You wanted to play this in your Mistform Ultimus deck, but did not get it yet? Now it's going... There you go! Boom, boom. Got there. Alright, last uncommon. Chill Haunting. A 2-mana instant that says, as an additional cost to play Chill Haunting, remove X creature cards in your graveyard from the game. Target creature gets -X/-X until end of turn. That is... I feel like maybe whatever these spirits are, like... So just hear me out. Hear me out. You've exiled these 3 creatures to give this lady right here, -X/-X. Based on the look of, like, you know, what these are, like, this looks like a pretty big beastie. This looks like a 2/2 zombie, maybe a bigger zombie, who knows? And then I don't know what the heck this thing is. It's another beastie of some kind, an insect maybe? I don't know. It looks kind of like an insect or something. I'm not sure. But it looks like it might be a little bit overkill. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think it's a little overkill? Oh, no name, you just bought some stuff from Mo the other day? That's awesome. That's awesome. Not if that's Lily. I mean, I guess you're right. If that's Liliana, then maybe it's not overkill. But it doesn't look like Liliana, though. You know what I mean? It looks like a lady who is, you know, just a commoner or, like, is living on the street. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't look like they're, you know, that big of a threat that they need to exile all of these things to get rid of her. But, you know, hey. I think she just did something in her pants. Maybe. Hey! Tell her we say hi as well, MTG Unscrewed. Of course, of course. I hope she's keeping well as well. Oh! Alright. How about a Bladewing the Risen? There you go. Hey, did you want to make a Dragon Tribal commander deck? Because I know that you now have a commander for a Dragon Tribal commander deck. When it comes into play, return target dragon from your graveyard to play. It's a sweet hit. It's a sweet hit. It's a very good card. You have Dragon Tribal already, and this boy is in there? Well, there you go. Now you can make a Brawl deck. Because he's legal in Brawl now, right? Because they added him into Historic Brawl on Arena just recently, right? Yeah, very fun and combo-ish, yes. She has put up with you throughout quarantine, so you're doing something right. That's true. That's true. I know that feeling. I know that feeling. MTG Unscrewed. Charlotte's been putting up with me too. Alright. What do you think? Let's check out Zendikar. I loved the original Zendikar set. I loved this set. I sort of just started getting back into playing a little bit more heavily with my friends and stuff around the time that this set was out. So we played a lot of Zendikar, we played a bit of Worldwake, we played a bit of Rise of the Eldrazi, and then we sort of like stopped again. So I guess like maybe not got into it, but like I was into it heavily just before Zendikar came out, and then I played Zendikar, and then I played a bit of Worldwake, and then I played a bit of Eldrazi, and then we kind of like petered out again for a little while. You think of foil Lily? Was Lily in this set? I don't even... Was Lily in the original Zendikar set? I feel like it wasn't. I feel like it wasn't, but maybe I'm wrong? Archive Trap, yeah. That's what would make it epic? Well, what about a foil Scalding Tarn or a foil Misty Rainforest? That would also make it epic, right? Because those are in here. Calling Catacombs? Alright. Alright. Let's see. Let's see if we can find Surge Hunter a friggin' sweet hit in the last pack here. Cabaria Crossroads. Or Cabiria Crossroads? I don't know. Enters battlefield tapped. When it enters battlefield, you gain 2 life. Just a little like, it's like a Khans land that only makes white, but it gives you 2 life instead of 1. Is that how we're labeling that? I don't know. Sure. Hagra Crocodile. A 3/1 for 4. And it can't block. But it has landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, Hagra Crocodile gets +2/+2 until end of turn. So it becomes a 5/3 when you play a land, which is pretty sweet. Give me that Archive Trap. Alright, Archive Trap is sweet. Yeah, Misty being the most expensive is pretty crazy, actually. I was shocked to see that as well when I just looked now. I didn't realize Misty was up to like $85 now. That's crazy. And I mean, like, there's a little goblin. There's a goblin in this art. So you like goblin. Well, there's 2 goblins in this art. One of them is looking a little worse for wear, though, than the other one. And it looks like they were in a boat. Were they? They were in a boat of some kind? And their boat is now not so much a boat and more like driftwood. Their boat is now more like driftwood. Goblins are having a bad day. They're having a bad day. Mold Shambler. Oof. Man, look at this thing. It's a fungus beast. So if you wanted to make tribal fungus, here's a beast for you. There you go. You get all those sweet Fallen Empires cards. Get your fungi out here. And there you go. Right? Get your fungus out. But it has a kicker. So it's a 3/3 for 4 with a kicker that says pay 2, 1 and a green. And it says, when it enters battlefield, if it was kicked, destroy target non-creature permanent. Cool. So it blows up lands. That's kind of interesting. Thank you for subscribing to Zendikar Facts. Did you know that there's only 1 creature with the Hound creature type in this set? Seems underrepresented in a set all about the fetch. Oh, Kairu. You get me, sir. I enjoy your terrible puns. They are great. I enjoy them. Don't let anyone tell you different. I root for a simple arid mesa. Fungus tribal, huzzah. Oh, look, what about fish? This is an interesting card. Does this look like a fish to you? I mean, it looks like an eel to me because it says eel. Why is it a fish? Unsub from Zendikar Facts. I actually played this card in my landfall deck for the longest time because it's a 2/2 flyer for 4 that gets bigger as you play lands. So, like, this card actually did a lot of work for me back in the day. This card was actually really good in Limited as well because it was a flyer that basically pumps with landfall. So very, very good. But yes, like, they've printed eels since this set that were actually eels and not fish. So, obviously, they just put this as a fish because they were like, it's a fish. But it's also not in water. Like, it's definitely in the sky. It looks almost more like a type of, like, Japanese or Asian dragon, right? Than a fish, to be completely honest, right? And those are not considered fish at all. They're considered lizards, or dragons, right? Or drakes, or whatever you want to call them, right? So I don't know why. I don't know why this got lumped in as a fish, but here we are. Oh, yeah, a goblin. We found a goblin. Yeah, Torch Slinger. There he is, a little 2/2 Torch Slinger. Another little goblin for you, Surge Hunter. Something fishy about that card. Yeah, it seems to, maybe it's secretly an Eldrazi too. It's possible. This is the right set for that to be the case, right, Surge Hunter? It's like the Eldrazi could be hiding all over the place in this set because we didn't see them until Rise of the Eldrazi, right? But that was technically in the same block and in the same plane, right? So, There could be things here that are like hidden Eldrazi that just haven't risen yet. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, there's you got a little goblin with a torch. He looks like he might be lost. He looks very suspicious. Look at the look on his face. Giving us the mad side-eye. Do you see this? Giving us the mad side-eye. Side-eye goblin. Yeah, so it's a 2/2 for 3, but it has a kicker of 2, and it enters battlefield. If it was kicked, deal 2 damage to target creature. Once thrown, twice burned. Soaring Sea Cliff. Is that a dragon? It's a dragon. Is that dragon... The dragon looks like it's just flying past. This is where the Cup Islands come from. Look at this. Look at this sweet, like, weird floating island nonsense in the middle of a waterfall area. It's really cool aesthetic on the art. Right? Very cool. Soaring Sea Cliff enters battlefield tapped. When it enters battlefield, target creature gains flying until end of turn. Oh, because you push them off. I see. You push them off the cliff, and they're flying, technically, until they hit the ground. Where's the $4 Expedition map? It's in the uncommon slot, right? Isn't that... Oh, no. I guess Expedition map is a common from this set, isn't it? Crypt Ripper. Look at this thing. It's a 2/2 with haste for 4. That has pay 1 black and get +1/+1 until end of turn. Look at the art on this. There's like a skull here. Do you see that little skull? But like the head is over here. It's kind of weird. Right? Or at least it looks like the head is over there. Maybe it's not. Maybe that's just like dark wisps coming off of it. I don't know. Really cool, though. Really cool art on that one. It looks like a Seb McKinnon art, almost. Like, even just from, like, the background. The way the background brambles and stuff are done, it's very reminiscent of Seb McKinnon. Now, this is before Seb's time, right? As an artist for Magic. So, cool. Maybe Seb was heavily influenced by Dave Kendall, and that'd be really cool. If that was the case. I wish the art would go back to the way it used to be. Yeah. Yeah. Kalani Heart Expedition is in this? Yes, it is. Yep. We got Turn Timber Grove, another land here. Lots of lands in this set because the landfall was a thing in this set. So we got a Turn Timber Grove, enters the battlefield tapped. When Turn Timber Grove enters the battlefield, target creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Add a green. And like, look at the... It's a really cool looking forest as well. We've got Rob Alexander there. Okay, we've got Desecrated Earth. Destroy target land. Its controller discards a card. Who likes land destruction in black? It's not often you see that, is it? So, like, what other cards do we have in black that blow up lands? Like, specifically lands. Like, let you target and destroy a land in black. Not something that's like a global effect, like Armageddon or whatever in white, right? Like, I know there's things like that. Sinkhole, right? So Sinkhole's a rare, right? Sinkhole lets you blow up a land. The other one I'm thinking of is the newest one, right? From, what was that? From Guilds of Ravnica or Ravnica Allegiances? It's the green-black one that lets you blow up, like, a bunch of things. 6 mana, right? It's black. It's green. It's green and black, but it lets you blow up, like, a land, a creature, an artifact. Choking Sands. Does Choking Sands blow up a land? I don't know. Is Choking Sands blowing up lands, or is it just, like, enchanting? Choking Sands? Destroy target non-swamp land. Yeah, if it was, if that land was non-basic, Choking Sands deals 2 damage. Yeah, there you go. Yep. Your Bic Lighter does a good job of blowing up lands. Yeah, so that's good. But that's what I mean, is like you don't often see a lot of land destruction in things other than red, really, right? Red has a lot of land destruction cards very commonly peppered throughout it. It's very interesting to see it happen in other colors. But I mean, it does make sense for black to get that from time to time because of, such a card like Desecrated Earth, right? Where it's essentially, the land being desecrated, which makes sense. This is a core, it looks like. It looks like a core Blade Whirler or something like that that's like having a bad day. She's like out for her patrol or whatever, and then all of a sudden the land just starts like exploding around her into like black smoke. What would you do? What would you do if you were this person out on your patrol and then all of a sudden the land just like erupted into like black, gross fog stuff? I would probably leave. I would walk away. I'd be like, that's not an enemy attack, so I'm out. I don't know. I'll go and report to my superiors that something weird happened over here and this land is now like absolutely wrecked. But I'm not going to stick around. This person looks like they're sticking around. I don't know why. What are they going to do about it? It's far too late. I would decide to planeswalk. I'm out of here. See you later, Desecrated Land. Makindi Shieldmate. An 0/3 for 3 mana. Core Soldier Ally, Defender. Whenever Makindi's Shieldmate or another ally enters the battlefield under your control, you may put a 1/1 counter on Makindi's Shieldmate. So yes, this was also a set where allies were strong, right? Whenever Makindi's Shieldmate or another ally enters battlefield. Yeah, so allies were a big thing in this set as well, right? Ooh, we're into the uncommons. So we didn't get that expedition map. But maybe we have a foil? I don't know. Do we have a foil? Should we see? Should I count? Nope. There's 10 commons there, so no foil, unfortunately. No foil, unfortunately. We've got Merfolk Wayfinder. Look at this little dude. Riding a manta ray. There it is. Very cool. Who doesn't like a merfolk from time to time, right? Very nice. Dude? Dude? Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Lady? Is that better? Is that better? It's a lady? Little dude with big boobies. Yeah, listen. We don't know. Look at that. Look at that thing. Is that better? I don't know. Like, it's a merfolk. Trapmaker Snare. Search your library for a trap card, reveal it, and put it into your hand. Alright, so we're getting ready. We're getting ready to get that archive trap for you, because now you've got the card that lets you tutor it up. Right? That's what this is. The card that lets you tutor it up. Also, phenomenal looking art here. Who is this person? They look familiar from another card. Does it say? It doesn't say anything in the quote. Trap making is an art. The trap is a corporeal riddle, a battle of wits between its creator and whatever it lures inside. That's Bob? That's Bob? My goodness. Bob, what happened to you? Sarkhan? I don't think it's Sarkhan. Sarkhan's not typically blue in any way, so I don't know why Sarkhan would be on a blue card. Frontier Guide. Here we go. Not you, Bob. The other Bob. It's Bob from marketing. We got a Frontier Guide here. Little elf. The art on this is actually pretty cool looking. I've never really looked at the art before. It's very reminiscent of like almost like a cartoon comic type art, which is kind of cool to me. Don't know if that's what they were going for, but the eyes are very large, And normally when you make the eyes this big, it's because you're trying to over accentuate the eyes and such, and that's generally something that's done in like comic book art and things like that. Search your library for a basic land card, put it into your battlefield tapped, right? Who doesn't like to go and just get mana ramp, right? 2 mana dude that just goes and pulls lands out of your deck. All right, sweet. Another dude with boobs. That's right. Ooh, we didn't hit a fetch, but we did hit a Celestial Mantle. Celestial Mantle's a great little card. 6 mana enchantment, 3 and triple white, but enchanted creature gets +3/+3, and when the creature deals combat damage to a player, double its controller's life total. So there you go, Surge Hunter. Another card for your life gain deck if you don't already have this one. I'm sure you probably do if you have a life gain deck. But this is doubling your life total nonsense. Which, just remember, everybody, when you double your life total, it is actually considered life gain of that amount. So if you have things that double the life gain, it like doubles it again, which is pretty fun. So there is that. Don't forget that. It's an interesting way of looking at it. And then, ooh, you got your full art forest. There it is. Yeah, no archive trap, unfortunately, Surge Hunter. And no fetch land, unfortunately. But that's okay. We're in it for the art and such, right? We're in it for the art, and we're in it for the nostalgia, right? This one might go in your life gain deck. Well, there you go. See? You can put it to use. And there's your little beastie token. Little 4/4. So there you go, everybody. There you have it. That was the 5 packs for Surge Hunter. We hit some pretty cool stuff this week. The biggest hit, I think, being the Elish Nord from the Mystery Booster Pack. Who doesn't like a nice Elish Nord? But in my opinion, the coolest hit this week was definitely this foil symbiotic elf. Because I just love the old foils. I love the old foils. They just, for me, they really, like, this is what foiling should be now. Do you know what I mean? Like, if they, okay, so, in my opinion, if Wizards went to this foiling process and put the Star Wipe and did the old frame for the secret layers, I would be happier with that product. I would be happier with the secret layer product if they went to this. Like, make it a throwback secret layer with the old frame and the old Star Wipe and the old foiling process. Do you know what I mean? Like, I would be way happier with it than what it is now. Because what it is now, those foils taco like crazy. They taco like crazy. Is the Sparksmith? Yeah, sweet. The Sparksmith is great. Right here. There he is. Yes, thank you very much, Surge Hunter. I really appreciate you letting me open these packs for you. These will be shipped out to you with your other stuff that I still have, hopefully in the next, like, week or two when things get a little bit more stable. I don't know how long it's going to be, but they've opened up the shipping to your area from Canada, but they've put the whole, like, disclaimer of, like, we can't guarantee it, and I'm like, I don't know how I feel about this. So I might look at shipping it to you with tracking just so that it gets there and we can make sure, right? So I'll have to see what the deal is there. But I'll figure that out and I will let you know once it's shipped, okay? And thank you everyone for watching. Thanks for being here. Big shout out to Mo and his wonderful little store. Make sure you check out his shop online. He's got lots of product. As you can see, Brad ordered some stuff earlier today, or I guess like yesterday or whatever. Yeah, I mean, just thanks for being here. Thanks for supporting the channel, and I really appreciate it. I hope you all have a wonderful Sunday. Don't forget to call your moms, or, you know, let the ladies of your life know that you love them. Whatever, right? Happy Mother's Day to all of you out there. Have yourselves a wonderful day, everybody. And we'll see you all tomorrow for Mediocre Monday. Ooh. Bye. Can you call my mom? No, I don't think so. Oh, right. And as always, may your pulls ever be better.